germane in helping provide clarity, especially even to young people as everybody gets hyped up around this season. But before we proceed, as always, we would always start by committing everything that we do into the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I'm going to invite Imam Zikrullah Ibrahim Olesi to give us the opening dua. Assalamu alaikum, Imam.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We thank Allah for His goodness. We thank Him for His blessings.
Livelihood, and dawah. And in order to make it easy for us to achieve our policy trust of education and dawah, we have started this webinar, inshallah. It is a weekly webinar. One of those things we do to achieve those parts of our policy trust is this webinar. It's not the only thing, but this one, and it happens every Sunday between the hours of 17:00 and 18:30. That's 5 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. Nigerian time. Today we have a distinguished guest who is going to be talking to us, and we pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it possible for us to understand and to achieve more, better in this program. We also want to say that this is a weekly program. I want to encourage us to always join. For our missioners, it is a continuous way of development for our missioners and also for missionary members too. And for all Muslims, is an avenue for us to link up, to spend our Sunday, to improve our knowledge. Inshallah, we hope and we pray that today will not be an exception in terms of increasing our knowledge, in terms of getting more knowledge of our deen. And inshallah, may Allah accept our efforts and also bless it, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much, sir, for setting the tone for the session. And like Imam and Mashallah said, sorry, excuse me. We have a distinguished guest in our midst today to do justice to the topic that we are talking about today. And what's that topic? Is love enough? You know, love is, I think, the most commonly used four-letter word. And I think it's also one of the most abused words in the English vocabulary. And if we were to take it to any other language, I think the same thing will apply, because we are always quick to say, oh, it's love. I did it out of love. I love him. I love her. I'm sure they're in love. But do we really understand the context that love should be? And do we even understand how love should be applied Islamically? And to do justice to this topic this beautiful Sunday evening, we have an erudite scholar, Ustaz Dr. Abdul Fattah Adeyemi, the CEO Bainakum Family Counseling Center, Abuja. Ustaz Dr. Abdul Fattah Adeyemi is a transformational marriage coach, a Muslim motivational speaker for singles and couples. He is a relationship-sensitive person who finds himself by counseling and caring for the needs of others. He has an instinctive ability to soothe people's hurts, homing in on the sources of their pain. It is not by accident that he has chosen to find a role in the world as a preacher and a nurturer in which he can address the hurts and lack of love in the lives of others. He is a natural teacher and ustaz who is able to convey not only information to people, but also with enthusiasm, with an uncanny ability to see what others miss and to sense the subtle discord in relationships. His task is not so much to answer questions as to raise them. He values change and transformation, and as an almost reckless belief that marriages can work and that a good marriage can always be better. Allah has granted him the psyche with a natural ability to grasp the unity behind what appears separate. He has good insights into family and social values, loves to facilitate compromise, and loves to encourage Islamic ways to join family ties and fulfill all marital obligations with love and mercy. He selflessly sacrifices his time and energy to comfort the distressed, reassure the hopeless, support the weak, direct the distracted, and encourage humanity to return to their roots and origins in moral uprightness and spiritual progress. With over 300 lectures recorded to his credit, when Ustaz Dr. Abdul Fattah is not counseling, preaching, writing, teaching, or learning, he would most likely be found spending quality times with his family, hanging with his wide array of friends and fans, working on his Islamic arts, presenting Islamic programs on radio and television, collaborating with other stakeholders to keep the youth off drugs. Ustaz Dr. Abdul Fattah Adeyemi is the founder and CEO of Bainakum Family Counseling Center, Abuja. He is also the Director of Arts, Counseling and Culture at International Center for Islamic Culture and Education, ICICE, Al Noor, Abuja, Nigeria. Please join me in welcoming Ustaz Dr. Abdul Fattah Adeyemi as he does justice to the topic, is love enough? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, sir.
Wa alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much, Sister Ashat. Ah, I was trying to look around to say, who is she talking about? Yes, thank you very much. May Allah bless you. And with the eloquence with which you introduced me, I don't even know where to start from again. SubhanAllah. Alhamdulillah, we thank Almighty Allah for everything. I'm very happy and delighted to be here in your midst. I feel honored indeed that I'm to discuss with you this evening, to share knowledge, share experience, and so on and so forth. What we have to talk about is something that we have all experienced before, I believe. And like Sister Rashida said, it is what is trending now. Everybody talk about love. We talk about love the way we talk about recharge cards. It's like it's something everybody talks about. We talk about love as if it's the data we use for, our technological devices. Be that as it is, let's begin like this. I want it to be a bit discursive because it takes a love professor to be able to explain matters of love. It is something we all feel, it's something we all think we understand, it's something we all share as part of our humanity. So let me begin by saying, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his household and his companions and all believers. And I also greet each and every one of us again and again from wherever you are, and we are discussing this together. May Almighty Allah bless you, may Allah support you, may Allah sustain you, may Allah preserve you wherever you are. I want to seize this opportunity of, doing da'wah, talking about Almighty Allah, to pray for all of us, whatever our problems, our, situations, our complaints, our requests before Almighty Allah. May Allah please answer our prayers, and may Allah please grant our requests. I made that as, as beginning for Allah to give us peace of mind and to give us rest of mind and to bless us in all that we do. My brother that spoke earlier on, that did opening prayer, he has said a lot of things like that, and he's also prayed that may Allah give us the understanding to be able to do the best of what we can, and the ability to do the best of what we can, and understanding to understand what Almighty Allah has in stock for us tonight or this evening. Our being together this hour is not by accident. I hope we all know that Allah has plans for everything. I believe Allah designed it and decided that we all should, interface like this in this conversation. Now, talking about the topic, excuse me, the topic that looks so much like a question: is love enough? One word I just want to say, okay, yes or no, whatever. Is it enough? Is it not enough? Somebody asked me when I saw the topic and I posted it on my status on WhatsApp, and the person said, Ustaz, please answer yes or no. And I said, well, it depends on what you mean by love. If you understand what love is all about, then you can decide whether it is enough or it is not enough. Like somebody is asking me, can money buy happiness or can money buy love? I say, yes, money can buy happiness and money can buy love. It depends on what market you have gone to. If you go to the right market, you're going to buy love. In fact, they will give you jara on top of love. If you go to the right market and you know the love you are looking for, you know the type of love you are looking for. So we are going to talk about some types of love. We are going to talk about what we should understand about love. We are going to talk about what we should not understand about love. Sure, you get what we should understand, what we should not understand about love, and hopefully we'll also talk about some of the things that can accentuate love, some of the things that can give footing to love, some of the things that can make love to have a foundation on which to rest or on which to stand. Some things can be nice, but if you are put in the wrong place, then it's not going to work well. Some things may be alive, but when you remove them from where they're supposed to be, then they may die. And in my own opinion, I'm even beginning to think that love is a living thing. Love is alive. Sometimes it's like a plant. You have to water it. you have to attend to it, you have to nurture it, you have to protect it so that it can survive. So from the beginning, how did the whole of these matters of love start from? Almighty Allah says, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَكُم مِّن تُرَابٍ ثُمَّ إِذَا أَنْتُمْ بَشَرٌ تَنْتَشِرُونَ. Allah says amongst his signs is that he has created you from turab, from sand, from clay. ثُمَّ إِذَا أَنْتُمْ بَشَرٌ تَنْتَشِرُونَ. Then you become human beings scattered all around. That is very instructive. When you're a human being, what does it mean to be human? There are certain things that are common with all of us as human beings, this one single race of humanity. We share similar thoughts sometimes, we share similar emotions, we share similar joy, we share happiness. Everywhere people feel happy, everywhere in the world people feel sad. Everywhere in the world, people are emotional. Everywhere in the world, people laugh. Everywhere in the world, people cry. What makes them laugh, what is funny, and what makes them cry, what is saddening, depend on some cultural interpretations of what should make a person to laugh or what a person to cry. But what we know is that, yes, people feel some things, they have emotions. Sometimes we feel lonely, sometimes we feel appreciated, sometimes we feel dejected, sometimes we feel rejected, sometimes we don't even know what we feel. We just like wonder what's it all about this life that we're existing. Because we are all bashar, we are all human beings, that is why we share these emotions together. Love is one of such emotions. Hate is one of such emotions. Jealousy, envy is another emotion that we feel. And in between all of these ones, we also have anger. It's another emotion we all feel everywhere. People also have fear. It's another feeling that we have. And of course, sadness is another thing that we all feel. How do we describe it? How do we I'll quickly mention some Islamic perspectives about love. So, what is love in your language? Well, Yoruba people call it Ife. In another place, they call it Kauna. In another place, whatever. Every culture has a name they call love, for you to see how universal it is. Then, how many of us here have fallen in love before? Anybody can remember whether they have fallen in love before? How does it feel when you are in love? When you fell in love, how did you feel? I hope you are supposed to feel bad if you fall in love, right? You're supposed to feel terrible when you fall in love, because falling is not such a nice thing. When you fall, you can break your neck, you can break your leg, you can break your heart. Your heart will bleed a lot when you fall in love. I want to say, instead of falling in love, why don't you just rise in love? Now, I'm beginning to let you see where the words we use to describe love actually determine how we express this love and how we understand, or what we understand love to be. If you say you fall in love, you are trying to say that it's something that happened by accident. Nobody falls deliberately. Yes, thank you. Rise in love rather than fall in love. If you fall in love, it's not such a nice thing. Please fall down and see if it feels good. Then, if you fall in love, anything can happen because you didn't see it coming, you didn't plan for it. And that's why some people even think that this love thing, it just happens, it just happens to you. Love, some people believe, something that happens to them, not what they made to happen to themselves. So it's always sometimes looks at as an accident, as if, hey, I don't know what is wrong with me. I suddenly fell in love. You know, that kind of thing. I suddenly fell in love, as if you had an accident. In other words, in my own opinion, instead of falling in love, why don't you rise in love or stand in love? Do kiwama, establish love, and let love be what you want it to be, based on some of the guidelines that Allah and His Rasul have put in place. Now we are beginning to get somewhere now. How many of us are in love now as we speak? And if you ask yourself, how did you get there? How did you get to where you are now? Is it by accident? Did the person you are in love with now, love with, did the person just happen to you? Did the friend or the partner or the husband or wife that you are in love with now, did they just happen to you by accident, or you chose to love them? Do we have any choice in the matter of love? Allahu Akbar. Is it something we decide to do, or is it something that just happened to us? I want you to be asking yourself these questions as I'm going along. Like my sister said, I do a lot more of asking questions than giving answers to things. Some of them I don't know too, because many of these experiences I'm talking about, they are unique to you. You are the one that know what happened. How did you get here? I hope you understand. How did you get here? Why did you love this person and not that person? Why did that person say they love you before you started to love them? You get what I mean now? Why did somebody else have to approach you and tell you they love you before you, man, you started loving them back? Briefly, yeah? Love itself can be some of laughter that you have, the laughter you share with one another, the optimism that you have together, or the value that you are adding to each other's life, or the fact that you have seen each other as people you can live together with for it. Prophet equating love and faith together. Love and faith. Let me quickly mention this. The way faith, that's Iman, the way it grows, that's the way love also grows. The way Iman comes down, that's how love also comes down. The way you have to practically work on your faith, that's the way you have to practically work on your love that you feel for somebody, or that somebody feels for you, if you must sustain the tempo of that love. Are you following me now? In other words, every quality that you see about faith, you find similar thing in love. Faith is a manifestation of an emotion, our relationship with Almighty Allah, and our understanding of how things work around us in the universe. And so love also is a kind of relationship that may need to be built, that may need to be cultivated, and that is why the Prophet equated love and faith. La yu'minu ahadukum. None of you is a believer until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself. Another hadith, according to Abu Huraira, who reported that the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, وَحِبَّ لِلنَّاسِ مَا تُحِبُّ لِنَفْسِكَ تَكُنْ مُؤْمِنًا وَأَحْسِنْ جِوَارَ مَنْ جَاوَرَكَ تَكُنْ مُسْلِمًا. Allahu Akbar. The Prophet said, love for the people what you love for yourself, so that you be a true believer, you be a mu'min, and behave well with your neighbors, so that you become a Muslim, somebody who has, who has submitted to the will of Almighty Allah. You see another hadith of the Prophet that talks about that, and then there are so many other ones, so many other definitions in the Quran that I don't want to go too much into, so as not to bore you down. Now, I was talking about the many shades and colors of love. If love were to have a color, what would be the color? Is it red? Is it blue or green? Whatever thing it appears to you. So many people like to equate red to love, as if red is the color of love. I hope some people may agree with me when I say this. I don't have any proof for that, but I think people use red as color for love because they feel that we feel love in our hearts. We feel it here. And if we feel love in our hearts, it means the color of our heart is reddish, and the color of the blood that is pumped in our heart is red. So they like to look at love as red. How red is red? What kind of red are you talking about? How red is your red? Let's quickly look at the different types of love that we have, so that we can now continue with that. Number one, we have the obsessive love, the one we call infatuation. When you're obsessed with somebody, it's like you are just crazy about that person. You can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't drink if you don't see that person. It's a stage of all of experience. When you are afraid of losing somebody you love, you are even get obsessive love. Obsessive lovers are usually scared. They are scared, and they are insecure. They are afraid. They don't want to lose each other. Allahu Akbar. And that is obsession. When they say somebody is obsessive, it will be just doing you as if you drank something, as if you are drunk. Like some people even say your love is getting me drunk, as if I drank alcohol. You've heard of that before. That's obsessive love. Sometimes it can be an inroad into a relationship, and sometimes it's not always the best for a relationship that is meant to last. When you are obsessed with somebody, that's when you lose control of yourself. You are not able to think of what is right and what is wrong. You go into that relationship without your brain. You only go into that relationship with your heart. Intoxicating love. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. It's when you go into a relationship with only your heart, without taking your brain alongside with you. You understand that? So when something happens now, then you hear bagger on your head, and people say, "Waiting happen." In other words, you have broken your neck, broken your leg, and broken your heart. That's when they say you fell in love. It's very obsessive. You are crazy about the person. That's when you see all sort of love poems. I would rather die with you than live without you. You know, those kind of things. You are the butterfly in my stomach. Somebody should let me know. Somebody should let me know what you think about this kind of thing that we used to send to each other those days in school. May Allah forgive us. Then we have another type of love, that is selfish love, that is narcissistic love. People who don't love other people, they only love themselves. They love themselves, not another person. That is a selfish kind of love. This kind of love is not good and it's not enough for any relationship that is meant to last. Narcissists are people who love for its own sake, and they love for themselves. You are just an object of the love they have for themselves. They don't really love you. They just want to keep you around so as to, gratify the fact that they also have opportunity of being loved by somebody else. Another type of love is one we call lusty love, when you have lust over somebody else. Some people have this kind of lust in this kind of desire, a kind of longing, a yearning, a kind of hunger, a kind of sexual attraction. That's all, nothing more than that. Lusty love, or being in love out of lust, is just only for sexual attraction and nothing more than that. When the sex is no longer available, then the love will just die. Or some, because it is lusty, they can put their lust on 3 or 4 or 5 more individuals at the same time. That kind of lust or lusty love doesn't last. That kind of lusty love is not sincere. That kind of lusty love is like, like eat the orange and throw away the peel, that kind of thing. Or eat the banana and throw the peel away. Some people who are into lusty love, they're the kind of people you see them into pornography, you see them into masturbation and some other things like that. All on their mind is sex, sex, and sex. And if a relationship doesn't revolve around more than sex, that kind of relationship cannot last long. Any room or any home of marriage that you see, it is not only bedroom matters that are important in any relationship. There are other matters too, apart from bedroom. It goes beyond the bed, goes beyond the trees and flowers. It is much more than that. So lusty love is not enough for any relationship to work. You can add it in when you are both married, but if that is the only one that you have, then there's problem. Number 4, another type of love is unconditional love. This one that you love somebody even more than yourself. Allah Akbar. You love the person in spite of or despite of the person's weakness. And it can be nice, Unconditional love is when you love somebody without expecting anything back in return, just like the name denotes. You even almost care for the person more than you care for yourself. That's unconditional love. It's quite nice. It's quite interesting. It is good also for people to love each other unconditionally. But at a point in time, you get to see that if these conditions do not apply, then the love will begin to have problem. When you buy something or you do a transaction or there's a promo, they say terms and conditions apply. Terms and conditions apply. Is it safe to love somebody unconditionally? It is very risky, because if it is unconditional in the first place, by the time the person goes against what are the usual principles of humanity, if there's no reciprocation in that relationship, then the unconditionality will make the love affair to become faulty. There may be problem. Take, for instance, that you love somebody, the person hates you. You care for somebody, the person doesn't care about you. You love somebody, the person doesn't love you back. Those are some of the conditions for love. Love is supposed to be reciprocal. And if you are going to love somebody unconditionally, you must be very cautious that the person you are loving is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Any human being that you love, please add some condition, especially that it should be mutual and that it should be reciprocated in some ways and at some point. Especially if the person is sane and the person is, all right, so to speak. I will leave that as it is. Then we have what we call marital love. This one is a special one. It's called real life love. And that is referred to as wadud as wadda in Quranic terminology. Allah says, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُم مَّوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. Quran chapter 30 verse 21. Amongst the signs of Allah is that He has created for you from amongst yourselves males, a mix from amongst yourselves, so that you may find tranquility in them, and Allah has placed love and mercy within your heart. The kind of love that is enough for marriage is the kind of love that Allah referred to as wadud, as mawadda, al-mawadda. Al-mawadda is a very deep kind of love. Al-mawadda is a kind of love that doesn't reduce with time. It's a kind of love that forgives immediately, even without any ado. It's a kind of love that is given to you freely, without expecting anything back. Even when they get something back, the kind of love that will even give you some more than what you give to them. Al-mawadda is a kind of love that grows with time. Al-mawadda is a kind of love that increases even when there's misunderstanding. Al-mawadda is the kind of love that Allah recommends in the Quran for any reasonable marital relationship. And that's why Allah didn't put the al-mawadda alone. Allah adds wa rahma. وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. And Allah has put love and mercy between your heart. Because this al-mawadda we are talking about, there can be no love without mercy, and there can be no mercy without love. You cannot claim to love somebody if you don't know how to show mercy towards that person. And you cannot claim that you are merciful towards a person unless you actually show love to that person. Al-mawadda and rahma, this love and mercy, is like the difference between being a human being and a human doing. Human being, you are just being human. But human doing is that you are doing what it takes to be human. Allahu Akbar. Okay, thank you, Olani Imujin. I will get back to that later. So human being and human doing, they are things that should go hand in hand. You cannot just have this love latent in yourself without actualizing it, without practicing it. The practice of love is the show of mercy. The proof that you love somebody is that you are ready to show mercy towards that person. And that's why Allah combines the two. Quran chapter 30 verse 21. Please don't forget. Allah says, وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. And I have put love and mercy within your heart. These two must go hand in hand. Many of us, we have experienced love before. And we talk about love a lot. But we do very little when it comes to showing mercy towards one another. What does it mean to show mercy? Allah Akbar. How do I describe this to you? Mercy is a kind of kindness, It's a kind of consideration, Mercy is a kind of overlooking somebody's error. Mercy is a kind of forgiving somebody. Mercy is a kind of, the person says, I need you, and you already say, I'm here for you. Mercy is a kind of, yes, I'll always be there for you, regardless of what happens. Mercy is a kind of, look, you don't need to pay me back. I'm doing this for the sake of Allah. Mercy is a kind of situation where you are there for one another, where you trust one another, when you rely on one another without any fear of being betrayed. Mercy is when you speak to each other and you have so much utmost respect for one another. It's a kind of kindness, it's a kind of softness, it's a kind of understanding, it's a kind of consideration. It's a kind of acceptance, it's a kind of tolerance. Mercy is, I love you with the whole of my heart, and I'm ready to do anything that can make life good for you. Mercy is, I'm here to add value to your life. Mercy is, our souls have met somewhere. Mercy is, I am here for you just like you are here for me. Mercy is, I can even think on your behalf when you are not there. I can stand for you, and I can stand in love for you. I can rise in love for you. I can support you. I can assist you. I can be with you. I can be for you. I can be there for you. That is what mercy is all about. I can hear you when you cry. I can hear you when you call, and I can catch you when you fall. I will always be your support. I'll be your assistance. Just in the same way, I know that you will do the same thing for me too. That is the mawaddatan ar-rahma. That is the kind of love al-mawadda that is recommended for marriage. Let me quickly mention there are some other kind of love. So apart from this one, there's empty love, love baza, love that doesn't have anything inside it, empty and nothing is there. Allah Akbar. Empty love is sometimes when people have married for so many years and afterward they just like allow the love to just die natural death like that. While he has to be like, these are very careless people who say we just like fail. We have some other kind of loves too. Of course, we have haram love. That is where a person will say they love somebody that they are not supposed to love. For instance, if you love somebody that is hurting you, somebody that is beating you, somebody that is hitting you, somebody that hates you, or you love somebody you are not supposed to love. Somebody says, imagine a man says he's in love with his sister-in-law. Can you imagine that kind of thing? He's in love with his sister-in-law. That's a very haram kind of love. Or some people will say they will have lawful for people to do. They have relationships that are haram. People will say they love each other and they want to marry each other, whereas they are not supposed to get married as far as Islam is concerned. Like incest, for instance, brother and sister. The kind of love you have is just the general love, the agape love, the love of, okay, I love you for the sake of Allah. Any love that goes beyond that, when it comes to marriage itself, the one that Allah and His Rasul wadda, not even al-mahabba, al-mawadda. If you can get this, then inshallah, it's going to be in order. It's a lot of fitna when people love the wrong people. It's a lot of fitna when somebody loves the wrong person. This is why I was explaining that, look, it's very hard if you say you fall in love, or more, you just be falling in love with anything that you see, anybody you see. You can't keep your eyes away. You can't look away from people. You cannot keep your heart away from people. You just keep falling in love here and there. You break your head today, you break your neck tomorrow. Then you break your iman next tomorrow by loving wrong people. Stop thinking that love is so accidental that you don't have any control over. In my own opinion, there is a little bit of control, and Allah and His Rasul are the ones to guide us in that. Allah has created our heart, and He knows the capacity of our hearts to love the right thing or the right persons. If you now say that one kind of orishirishi love is making you to love the wrong person, or more, you better talk to your love. Don't go and love the wrong person and then you keep committing zina or you keep committing sin. Most of what people feel is lust, L-U-S-T, lust. And this lust makes them to be lost, L-O-S-T. So don't go into what is haram. May Allah forgive us and guide us right. Now, let me quickly mention this point now before I allow you to have your lives back, so that I don't bore you too much with my explanations. What are some of the things that can solidify this love? If we say, is love enough? Yes, there are some things that need to support love before love can become enough. One of them is mercy that I mentioned. Mercy. Love alone cannot sustain a marriage if mercy is not added to it. Take that as number one. Number two, love alone cannot sustain a relationship if compatibility is not part of it. Are you following? I'm talking about the ingredients for the mawaddana, ingredients for love. Compatibility is key, is very important. When people want to get married, for instance, no matter what you feel for one another, if it comes to matters of genotype, let's even go there first. Genotype, AS, AS, SS, and the rest of them like that. Advancement in knowledge, science, and technology has made us to understand now that some combinations of repressed, it can become digressed. And if you become digressed, you may become depressed as a result of that. Take good care of this emotional maturity of the thing, and let people not be emotionally shy in expressing the love they feel. If they don't express it, that love will not be enough. You can't just feel love without expressing love. That's what I'm trying to say. And if you don't know how to express love, please learn how to express love. Expressing love is not just word of the mouth. Of course, I hope you know. Don't just go and get your testimony and be saying, I love you, 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 and be repeating 100 times every day to your partner. No, it doesn't always work like that. Just try and see that you express the love and then you put it to practice. That's what I'm trying to say. Another thing that is good to support love so that love can become enough is some sense of creativity. Yes, be a little creative about things. Have some good sense of taste. That's what we call dhauk, taste. For them to have good taste. A sense of fashion to the love that you express to one another. Not a man that would dress and look like mashed potato, that kind of thing. Or a woman that would dress and then she would look like color blocking. Everything is just pipe like that. No, you should try to see what you can do to appear nice to one another. The prophet said, one of the good features of a woman is in nazarta ilayha sarrotika. When you look at her, you are pleased. Allahu Akbar. In my own opinion, I think one of the things that can support love is when a woman knows how to dress. Yes, dress well. Wear your hijab, wear the Islamic thing, and please don't let your face look like the face of a man. Haba. If not for hijab, sometimes some ladies that are just like men, they talk like men, they appear like men, some of them even laugh like men. He. That's how some ladies laugh. Gone are those days when ladies used to be ladies, when ladies, behave in ladylike manners. So, in my own opinion, one of the things that support love is, madam, try to titivate a little, try to renovate a little, try to package a little. Almighty Allah has created us like this, but to make ourselves look more attractive, looking, is entirely our business. It's up to you. Except for that, some men even dress better than some ladies. I'm sorry for saying this. I don't mean anything. I'm not referring to anyone. But some men, they dress better than some ladies. How will a lady not dress well now? Please, think about it now. It's not nice. You are just tormenting men every time. Dress well, appear nice. No matter how much a man loves you, if you give up looking nice, being a little bit fashionable, taking good care of your face, having certain taste and some senses of civility, putting things in the right place, it's a kind of intelligence for you to be able to be well put together as a woman, even as a man too. It's a kind of intelligence for you to stop looking like you assisted people in chasing goat. Then as a man, everything is just rough. Abba. You can be hard, but not that you be rough like that. It will make a woman to hate you. No matter how much a woman loves a man, when the man neglects himself, doesn't take care of himself, he doesn't take care of his appearance, he doesn't, those kind of things now. May Allah make it easy for us. Let us all try. It's a kind of nice thing to put the right thing in the right place. It assists love. If not, the love will just die. You'll be wondering what will happen. Then another thing that can support love, that will make love to be enough, is for you to have the dosage of culture. The dosage of culture. Do you know what I mean by that? This is part of what I mean. If you're a Yoruba man, please add a little bit of that culture to your Yorubaness and to your Islam. What I mean by that is the culture of respect is almost universal. The culture of regard is also universal. As a woman, add the dosage of culture. If you are going to wear your hijab, wear it very well and let the respect, or what we call adab, let it support your culture. You know what I mean by this culture thing? Take, for instance, now, in your culture, it's a woman that cooks for the man. And there's absolutely nothing that is wrong with that in Sharia. Don't now start quoting one sheikh from Saudi Arabia that the man is supposed to be the one that will cook for the husband, or the man is supposed to be the one that will go and buy food, and you start domesticating your husband. In this part of the world, the culture here is that the woman should take care of the home. Everything is neat, everything is clean, everything is nice, everything is put in place. Learn to cook the good food that your husband likes to eat, for instance. Learn to, Allah Akbar, learn to know how to be diplomatic with your in-laws. In this part of the world, the culture here takes in-law as even much more authoritative than your husband. This is what I mean. Let us try. Islamic culture is very broad. It is not enough to say you want to Arabize Islam. It's not everything the Arabs do that is 100% Islam. They also put their own culture inside it. In this part of the world, please respect to your mother-in-law, respect to your father-in-law, respect to your husband, the way you present the food, the way you serve the meal, the kind of thing you cook for him. All of these are part and parcel of the culture that we are supposed to take care of. In other words, a dosage of culture can go a long way in supporting the love that you have for one another. If you don't know how to respect people in the family you are married to, that love will disappear. As a man, no matter how much you love your wife, you have to extend that love to her mother. You must love her mother like your own mother. You must be good towards your in-laws the way you'll be good towards your own parents too. That is part of the culture, and I'm sure that's also part of Islam. Don't say, no, we are Muslims now. No. We don't attend the naming ceremony. No. We don't visit in-law. No. My mother-in-law has to take my permission before she comes to visit my wife. No. I'm not going to allow any brother-in-law to come to our house because I don't like them. No, come on, take it easy. It is part of Islam to do what we call silatul rahimi, joining family ties, being able to do things with people. The Prophet ﷺ said a bigger or a greater believer is not the one that has left the society to go and live in a cave, but a bigger and better believer is one that's able to mingle with people even when they are inconveniencing him. Part of the practice of your iman is your ability to know how to diplomatically mingle with people and express love and mercy towards them so that they can appreciate Islam. You get what I mean now? Part of the culture of Islam is exchange of gifts. Love is going to die if you are stingy. Some people's hands, they're like boxers. You know, if some men hold money in their hands like this, even German plier cannot open his hand because of tight-fistedness and stinginess. Stinginess will kill love. Love will not be enough if you don't spend for one another. You buy gifts for each other. The Prophet ﷺ said, Tahabu, tahabu. Tahabu, tahabu. Tahabu means give gifts. Tahabu, so that you can love one another. Please, let's take this serious. I'm talking to the men now that they should give gifts. What of the women too? A woman too should give gift to her husband. Once in a while, madam, you won't die if you buy boxer for your husband once in a while. You won't die if you buy singlet for him once in a while. It is part of the gift that can increase the love that people feel between themselves. If for any reason he's financially down, nothing is wrong if you assist him and help him out. It is part of how love works. Don't just use love. You can just be wearing nice hijab up and down, and you have nothing, absolutely nothing that you are doing to benefit your husband. That love, you will carry it to another woman. May Allah save us. Yes, now, please buy a boxer as part of the gift. I'm just recommending. Buy perfume also as part of the gift once in a while. And brother, you are not going to die if you buy pizza for your wife once in a while. I'm saying this because love doesn't just end with reading Riyadh Solihin. It doesn't only end with reading Hadith for your wife. Buy things too once in a while. Buy pizza. You are not going to die if you do that for your wife once in a while. This thing I'm saying, the funniest part of it is that it's not funny at all. I know many people don't even think of doing these things. May Allah forgive all of them that are tight-fisted towards their husbands and their wives. Let me also add the aspect of smiling a lot. Try to smile, look affable, look respectable, and try to be available for your family. It assists the love a lot. And you know what I mean by that is don't be so terrible like a broken bottle. Nobody can touch you, nobody can talk to you, nobody can approach you, nobody can. Don't be like a broken bottle, and don't squeeze your face every time as if they put lime in the mouth of a monkey. Don't look despicable. That's what I mean. No matter how much somebody loves you, when your face is always frowning, your face is always hard, your face is always, what is there now? It is part of sunnah to smile a lot, and you should do that a lot with your family. I hope you understand. Then a part of love is touch one another, have physical contact with one another. Some men are going to die if you tell them to hug their wife. They're going to like die. They'll be looking for one hadith to quote to excuse themselves from hugging their wife. Nothing is wrong if you do that. They are part of the things that can enhance the love that we are talking about. Let the lady also try. Look, kiss your husband. It is halal. Even if his mouth is smelling, buy some of these things and brush his teeth for him. Let him use mouthwash and kiss him like that. Whatever it is, try to have physical contact. It enhances love. And let me quickly mention these few points before we wrap it up. Enjoy yourself. I always say this anytime I'm talking to people. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. Love is going to die. If you are going to drink gari, make sure it is cold gari and put granite inside. Else, if you know what it is to enjoy life. A person who knows what joy is all about doesn't hit people, doesn't beat people, doesn't. When you learn to enjoy yourself, whatever thing you have, you enjoy it. That's what I mean. Once in a while, sit down, let your wife put her head on your lap. Enjoy the fact that Allah has united both of you as husband and wife. The word of this world is enjoyment, and the best of all enjoyment is a righteous wife or a righteous husband. So let us all try. These are, in a nutshell, some of the supporters to love. Love will have been enough if not that all of these things that we have mentioned are also part and parcel of the practice of love. That's why I said, don't just be human being, but also the human doing. Doing love is showing that mercy and adding all of these things that we have mentioned in the past. Whether you are married now or you are looking towards somebody to marry, bear in mind, Allah combined al-mawaddatan wa rahma, love and mercy together. A person cannot claim to love you if he cannot show you mercy. Somebody that you have not married is already slapping you. Somebody you are not married is already banging phone off you. Somebody you are not married is already keeping malice because of flimsy excuses. Somebody you have not married is already showing disrespect to your personality and your dignity. Somebody you have not married is already telling you you are stupid, you are crazy, you are a fool. Somebody you have not married is already laughing at your intelligence. He's already trying to rate your intelligence. He's already trying to compare you to somebody else. Somebody you have not married and is already showing you attitude whenever he's angry. These are red flags. Love is not just what we say, it's also what we do and how we behave towards one another. Now, is love enough? If somebody asks you that question with what we have explained now, you say, yes, love would have been enough if it had been supported by all of these things that we have mentioned. Add all of these things we have said, and you see that the love will suffice you. And love will also be enough depending on the type of love we are talking about. Can money buy love? Yes, it depends on the market that you have gone to. Can mercy sustain love? Yes, it depends on how merciful you are towards one another. And I believe that with this few points of mind, I hope you are beginning to understand what love is all about now. Thank you very much for your attention. And sorry for having taken so much of your time. This is what I do every time. I wish I can talk like this for another 1 hour. But I hope with these little things, you will be able to pick one or two points that can relate to you in your life too. And may Allah forgive me, and may Allah forgive you too. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Jazakumullahu khairan. Thank you very much, sir. In fact, I wish I could leave you to talk for the next 1 hour, because the depth of today's session, and it comes through even from the comments, and I am seeing people's statuses online already. Your quotes are going live as you're speaking.
Subhanallah.
And for me, that tells the depth of how people have connected to this session. And all I can say is that I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you much more than even we think for this gift to humanity, for this gift to everyone on this call today. Jazakumullahu khairan. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much.
At this point, the questions, I don't even know how to do it. I don't know how we are going to take everything. I don't want to offend anybody, because the questions, apart from the 10 in the Q&A box, we have so many questions in the middle of the chat box. Please, 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 if you put your questions in the chat box, please move it to the Q&A box to make it easier for us to be able to take your questions. Wow. I've taken so much, and one of the things for me that came across was, when you said love is not enough, and you started listing all the things that would support love, because oftentimes we believe that love is all in all. Because I love him, everything will be fine. And that is usually the biggest mistake a lot of people make in relationships and in marriage. But I love him now. So why is a scam? Absolutely. So, helping us to articulate it and bringing it into context. Mercy. I feel like mercy, listening to you, mercy is one thing that a lot of times we don't attribute to love. We never conscious the need to be merciful to the one we claim to love. We never consciously expect mercy from the one that we claim to love. We feel like mercy is all just about Allah. Jazakumullah khairan. Thank you very much, sir. I'll just let us quickly take the questions. I know we were supposed to end at 6:30. If I end this call at 6:30, people will come for me in my house. So I'm going to take permission from my father's in the house that I would extend by 10 minutes, and I will try to do an hard close at 6:40, inshallah, bi qudratillah. Imam and Masha, is that fine, sir?
Yes, it's fine. That's what I said. I said, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. So we'll just quickly go into the Q&A. So the first question we have, what are the tools we are to use for establishing firm love?
Firm, as in strong.
That's my understanding of the question, sir.
Okay, the tool for establishing firm love. That is,
yes, sir.
Okay, let's say we want the love to be stronger now, right?
Yes.
It's not very difficult. That's very important. نساؤكم حرث لكم فأتوا حرثكم أن. Or in another way, your husbands are like farmlands for you. You should go to your farmland whenever you wish. And the question now is, what kind of farmland is your own? If you have a poultry farm, it's different from feed to fish farm. Is not the same thing as you feed to animals if you are having animal husbandry. And what you give to goats and rams is not what you feed to your snail. If it's understand who you have. It's not every human being you see that is normal. When we say normalcy, not everybody is normal. Some people are carrying all sorts of genetic stains from their parents that are not Islamic. So what I was look at what they want, what they like, what they appreciate, their ways of reasoning, their ways of thinking, and see how you can meet them up at that point. Some people here, my sister Rashida,
no, sir.
It is gra that they want. No matter how much, if you like, kill yourself, make yourself into pepper soup and serve it for them to eat. They'll still complain that you are peppery. So if appreciate anything, then you have to begin all over again, start from beginning. and begin to educate them into some of the things that will make them to appreciate the love that you have for them. So one of the tools is understand who you are dealing with, understand your partner. Once that understanding is there, sometimes, like I said, one man's food is another man's what? Another man's poison. And one man's homo is another man's leather shoe. Sometimes you may people is money that they understand. They don't understand. I'm sick because I didn't see you. They don't send though. You have to just credit their account if you want them to know that you love them. So you can see the rules are general, but there are certain specific individuals. If they know what they want, it's going to be easier for you.
Thank you very much, sir. The next question, what is the position of Valentine to matter of love, Islamic point of view? Okay, so I'm guessing this person is asking what's the Islamic position on Valentine's Day.
Yes,
somebody
over to you now.
Oh, okay.
What?
I said the next question is someone asking about the Islamic point of view on Valentine's Day.
There's no there's no long story about it. Valentine's Day is not part of what we celebrate in Islam. It's what do we call it? It's a culture of some other people, and whatever thing they believe in it, and the rest of it is none of our business. In my own opinion, I think it's not part of what we celebrate in Islam, and that's not part of how we celebrate the love we have for one another as far as Islam is concerned. I think we don't have to wait for February 14th as Muslims before we celebrate the love we feel for one another. In my own opinion, I believe husband and wife can celebrate love. Don't wait till Valentine's Day. At least every once in a while, when you just receive your salary, you can take your wife out and spoil her a little. Express love, buy gifts, buy flowers if she will not complain that you didn't buy a wedu instead. And then life goes on. I don't think Valentine is part of our culture as far as Islam is concerned. Even our own traditional, as in local culture, love. People have added a lot of things to the Valentine thing that even if you say you wanted to manage it before, they have really spoiled it now. So in my own opinion, I will advise, don't make it be your habit. Don't make it part of your celebration. You can use any Monday and Thursday that you and your husband fast and celebrate love. Go to eatery to break your fast, have candle-lit iftar between you and your husband. Whatever thing you can do, it's nice, it's cool. Both of you can read the Quran together, like this Quran that we break into two is husband and wife. You keep reading it. After 1 month or 2 months, when you finish the whole Quran, just go to a very nice restaurant and order for anything you like. If you like, eat pizza with ewedu, just enjoy yourselves. It is part of celebrating each other. So I would prefer that you look for better reasons to celebrate love than to wait for February 14th. It's so flimsy as far as I'm concerned. It's so childish. My wife should feel insulted if I'm greeting her happy Valentine, because the love we feel for each other is much more than all of these ready childish things that people do all around. I want to be able to show my wife that I love her by taking her for dinner in Dubai, for instance. You know what I mean now? Or go to Mama Put. There's this blue zinc where they sell amala with one another in any way that I can. We drink gari with cold water, with granite and milk, and life goes on with fried fish. These are very nice things to do for one another than to wait for February 14th.
Thank you very much, sir. What is the position of reader that overlooks mistakes? I'm not very sure the question is clear. Brother Hood Iskilopeluyeru, do you want to explain your question? I'm allowing you to talk, Brother Dawood, just so that you can explain your question. Okay, I'm not sure he's able to. Let's take the next question. Jazakumullah khairan for the elucidation. The question is, as a marriage counselor, how do we help a client who has the mindset that love conquers all and she refuses to follow due diligence in choosing a better half?
If as a counselor, let me tell you how difficult it is to talk to some people or to advise them. Some people actually have what do they call it? Some people are people pleasers. It's actually not a healthy way of getting into a relationship. Some people are people fixers. Some people are people pleasers. Some people are masochists of a kind. That means they derive pleasure in being in pain inflicted on them. There's some human beings like that. They can't thrive in healthy relationships. So such person needs to be counseled, and such persons need some kind of therapy so that they can keep away from such relationships that are hurting them and relationships that are harming them. The Quranic concept is that don't oppress somebody, don't allow somebody else to oppress you, and don't oppress yourself. These are three dictums that we must understand. Don't oppress anyone, don't allow anybody to oppress you, and don't oppress yourself. Now, if this person is saying love without condition, and the person goes to where people are hurting her or where people are maltreating her, in that case, you cannot be a victim. You can't be a victim if an accomplice. If you participated in your being oppressed, it means you are also an oppressor on your own. So some people just, they need therapy. They need somebody to cure them of this kind of thinking. They need to understand that they should also have a life. They should also enjoy life. You don't need permission to be happy in life. And you don't have to sacrifice yourself, sacrifice your life for somebody that is not worth your sacrifice. So we would like to tell such people, if the question is coming from a counselor, I'd like you to, maybe we talk about this outside this group later. Part of what you must understand is out of every 5 persons that come to you, one of them perhaps have this kind of a problem. It's a mental situation that they need to be cured of. Many people don't even know that this is actually a problem that they have. In the name of being empath, in the name of being caring for others, they surround themselves with underdogs and people that they have to be caring for and who don't care back for them. If you are somebody who is satisfied with loving people and they hate you back, and you are contented with being good to others and they be bad towards you, then you need to check yourself. It's possible that you have some need for therapy to be able to heal yourself and cure yourself from this kind of unhealthy and unbalanced relationship. The Quran says, "Hunna libasun lakum wa antum libasun lahunna." You are a garment for them and they are a garment for you. In other words, it is mutual. The love Allah is trying to describe. You should be mutually protective and loving of one another. And the Quran also says, "Wa'ashiruhunna bil ma'ruf." Live together with your wives bil ma'ruf, with goodness and kindness. So if it is lopsided, it means it's not healthy. And if you are satisfied with that, it means you are not healthy.
Thank you, sir. Which kind of love can we show to each other to reform and shape our human relations in our contemporary world?
It has to be the love that goes beyond the superficial. We have to go into the souls. We have to go into the spirits. We have to make the love to be much more than the ABCD of relationship. We have to become soulmates of one another. And we have to add a little bit of spirituality in the kind of love that we feel and express towards each other these days. Because there's so much distraction out there. There's so much evil out there. There's so much selfishness out there. There's so much, what do I call it? Hidden agenda out there. Some people just want to marry you because they feel they can benefit from your family. Some people just want to hang around you because they know there are some things they can get from you. Not many people want to marry because of what they are bringing to the table. So I want us to express more of humanity towards one another and understand the connectiveness and connectedness of our souls as human beings. We are all supposed to be connected in the spirit in one form or the other, meaning that we are supposed to be part of each other, and we are supposed to understand how life works on a much higher level, not the superficial level of what we just talk about here and there. I'm talking about spirituality now. Spirituality is an extent where form of transcendence when you are together. When you talk from soul to soul, you talk from heart to heart, you talk from mind to mind. You can almost read each other's mind because you have put yourself in the shoes of the other person. And that's why the hadith of the Prophet is very profound. La yu'minu ahadukum hatta yuhibba li akhihi ma yuhibbu li nafsi. None of you is truly a believer until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself. Nowadays, if we can practice this even at the family level, you'll see that everything will work well, inshallah. I will not cheat on you. You will not cheat on me. I will not deceive you. You will not deceive me. I'll be loyal towards you. Be loyal towards me. There'll be nothing like infidelity in our matters. I will not keep some secrets from each other that is going to be tantamount to betrayal of trust at the end of it all. That is the spirituality part of marriage. Inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you very much, sir. So I have a lot of imams on this call, so pardon some of my pronunciations. How can we differentiate between Hub, Halil, Hanan, and Wood?
Well, you don't need to bother ourselves too much about differentiation, so that it's not going to be like a love class in a love university. But we have mentioned al-mawadda and al-mahabba. Al-mawadda is one we mentioned Quran chapter 30 verse 21, and there are many other names of Allah. The name of Allah is al-wadud, which is the profound one for humanity and for marital relationship. Then al-mahabba is the general love that we have for each other, we have for our sisters, we have for our brothers. It's all mahabba generally, like somebody will say, I love you for the sake of Allah, those who give food out to others because of their love for Allah, or because even they have love for the food they are giving out, they still give out, and they say, we don't expect from you, we don't expect any thanks or gratitude from you. This one are the only things I can explain when it comes to all of these different ways, terms, and languages people use for love. I wish this discussion were physical and interactive. I will ask each and every one of you to tell me what love is in your language. And I will have asked each of us to tell me, how do you express your love to your partner, to your spouse? I think that is most important than any other way I want to look at it. The person who asks the question can contact me later. Maybe I can give some dictionary definition of such a term that he
okay, thank you very much, sir. I'm going to skip some questions just because I promised to at close. So somebody had asked that, can we get your books or videos on the theme of love?
Well,
he also happens to be
I actually have a book. Oh yeah. Yes, I have a book, Adam and Madam. It's a book about the relationship, husband and wife, loneliness, and so on and so forth. The book is sold out. Rather than publish another one, I'm thinking of having an online version. If Allah wills, I may likely make it available for people to download free of charge, inshallah. I'm praying Allah to make me to be able to do that. Yeah, then just search YouTube for Abdul Fattah Adeyemi. You'll see many of my lectures. And on podcast also, I've got about 18 lectures there. In one way or the other, you see things about love mentioned there. And specifically about love, I will try to upload some very soon because you request for it, inshallah.
Thank you very much, Sir Jazakumullah Khairan. I'm going to take this final question. This person says, I love cooking. Even mostly, I don't allow my wife to cook, but people see me as a fool. Is it against our religion to be like that?
Abba, no, you are not the fool. In fact, I will recommend, I will give you more wives to marry, because some ladies are looking for men like you who can cook like a dream. If you can cook, fine. It's your gift. It's something you enjoy doing. Go ahead, cook for your wife. Make her happy. I'll be honest. Even if she's feeling angry, just fry some things, cook some things, give her shawarma with ogbono soup. Let her enjoy herself in any way you can. So it's not haram in Islam for a man to cook for the wife if you can. But like I told you earlier on, one man's food is another man's poison, and one man's momo is another man's leather shoe. If that's what you do for your family and your wife and you are satisfied with that, please go ahead and spoil your wife with nice cooking. And if she doesn't know how to cook, go ahead and do the cooking by yourself so that you don't eat her food and start purging. Let you be the one that will cook. And I believe any believing men and women that are around you will not criticize you for that. If we understand Islam very well, it's not something to criticize a man for, it's something to commend a man for. In fact, tell that brother that I also wish I could cook too, like him. I wish I could cook. The only one I could cook is to boil water forever and then call someone to come and make it. If I could cook like you, my wife would love me more. I know they will love me more. I wish I could cook like you. At least once in a while like that. You know what I mean now? Once in a while, you do that for your wife, make her happy, and life goes on. People have different ways of expressing love. And I want to recommend that this should be one of them. Please, you are not reducing yourself if you cook for your wife once in a while. It doesn't stop you from being a man. Rather, for some ladies, that is the only way to steal their heart. They will love you, you start loving yourself. May Allah make it easy for us.
Ameen, mashallah. Apologies to everyone that I could not take your questions. I know that there were still so many questions, both in the chat box and in the Q&A box. May Allah provide us another avenue to tap from the knowledge of our ustaz, mashallah. May Allah continue to protect you for the deen, inshallah, bi qudratullah.
I can see my name. Mashallah.
Yes. So, Imam Olagunju, you have the floor, sir. Assalamu alaikum, Imam Olagunju. Okay, I think he's busy trying to put this up. I'm not sure he can hear me.
His mic is muted. Imam Olagunju, you can turn on your mic.
Imam, I'm not sure, maybe, okay. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, sir.
I think here, Maghrib is around the corner. So we want just to appreciate our doctor. He has done justice to the lecture, and in fact, really benefited from his lecture. May Allah continue to increase him in knowledge. May Allah accept this from him as an act of ibadah. And to every one of us that have joined today's webinar, we appreciate us, and we would like us to do the same next week when we will be bringing another erudite scholar in Islam. So may Allah accept it from us as an act of ibadah, and may Allah make it beneficial to us, both on this earth and the hereafter. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billahi al-aliyyil azim. So we say jazakumullah, doctor. We say jazakumullah khairal jazaa.
Sheikh Salahuddin, may Allah reward you abundantly.
Amen. On the party note, people have been reaching out to me. Please tell doctor that we want to see him again. So I am passing that message across.
Inshallah,
and I'm also
inshallah,
passing this
inshallah.
across to
Doctor
the mission board. Inshallah.
Sheikh Salahuddin, they all know how to get me. Anytime, let's just enjoy ourselves like this. Thank God for technology. We can always do this anytime. Inshallah.
Alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah khairan. Thank you very much for sharing your evening with us, sir. And to everyone on the call, Jazakumullah khairan. Someone is asking if you would like to share your WhatsApp contact. If you would like to, you can drop it in the chat box, sir.
Thank you. So that we can chat 08032346721. That's my personal WhatsApp number.
Sorry, sir. Can you help me call it again so I can put it up for those who may not?
Okay, 080.
Okay, sir.
32 34 67 21. I hope you got it like that.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right.
Thank you
Happiness,
everyone for sharing your evening with us.
that's the WhatsApp. You can always reach out to me. Just tell me that you are from NASFAT, then we can pick it up from there. Inshallah.
Okay, mashallah, mashallah.
And
Thank you
any
very
of my
much.
lectures that are out, you can also get a link to the lectures.
Mashallah, mashallah. Thank you very much. So thank you everyone for sharing your evening with us.
Jazakallah
May
khairan.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us and keep us till next week when another episode of the NASFAT weekly webinar comes up. I have been your hostess for the evening, Rashida Ididi Balogun. Masalam.